All right, Todd, we're going to come in 10.
Test.
Yep, I got you. You got me? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, everyone, and good afternoon here from the Maxey Hall Arena in Potsdam, New York. We hope you are having a terrific Saturday so far and are ready for some men's hockey action, as this will be the second game of the weekend for the Bears, as right now they will face a tough challenge in the Red Dragons of Cortland. With Todd Truax engineering this broadcast on the Mix 96.1 FM side, and for my partner, the former Potsdam Bears coach, John Horn, I'm Taylor Salisbury. And John, SUNY Potsdam last night, a very slow start off the draw against the Morrisville Mustangs. However, they clawed their way back. They end up tying the game, go into overtime. They win the shootout, but officially it's a tie against Morrisville, and they only get 1 point out of a potential 2.
Yeah, this was it was an interesting hockey game last night. A lack of urgency in the first period put the Bears behind. The Morrisville Mustangs, who are currently in last place, both teams fighting for some much-needed points. The Bears actually picked up the energy as the game wore on and were able to score in the last minute and 25 seconds to tie that game, and then have the Ryan Mulmeister get the shootout goal that would give them the tiebreaker if needed going down the stretch. But it was certainly a point that was much needed that fell by the wayside in a game that was very, very important for the Bears' push to the playoffs. Conversely, Cortland got the 2 points that they needed to keep in the hunt for their playoff positioning, currently sitting in third place with 18 points, followed by Skidmore with 16, Plattsburgh with 14, Buff with 12, and then Bears, Fredonia, and Canton with 10 points. So very important points available here this afternoon. The Bears they dropped a decision to Cortland in Cortland or earlier in the year. So I'm expecting a much higher level of enthusiasm out of the Bears here tonight. Talking with the coaching staff, they were very disappointed in the effort last night, but they really need to turn it up a notch here and get 2 points this afternoon.
As we get the starting lineups here for the Cortland Red Dragons, looks like it will be coming out here in number 1, number 6, defenseman junior Nate Boak from Canton, New York. We know the Boak name all too well around this area. Then it's going to be number 13, Andrew Clouden, a defenseman from Hamburg, New York. Another forward, number 18, J.C. Humphreys from Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania. Followed by number 19, Colby Seitz, a senior from Eden, New York. And number 20, Sam Cristiano, also a sophomore from Buffalo, New York, who played also for the Buffalo Junior Sabres in the area. And for SUNY Potsdam, they're going to be coming out here with their first line. The defenseman will be number 2, Michael Campbell, who had a great goal last night. Number 8, Zdenek Dobbs. And then the forwards will be number 24, Ryan Malmeister. Number 7, Mason Hohen, a senior forward, and number 29, Owen Watson, who also pumped in a tally last night. And we also have Lenny Pierno between the pipes once again for the Bears. As we get set here for this afternoon's contest, we will listen in for the national anthems for Canada and the United States. And now we'll take a look at, of course, the starting goaltenders for both these teams with John Horn.
Nolan Suggs will come in for the Cortland Red Dragons. He's a junior, 6'1", 174 pounds, played for El Paso Rhinos in the North American Hockey League, but he's from White Lake, Michigan. For the Bears, we're going to have a familiar name in there, Lenny Pierno, the junior, 5'10", from Rochester, New York. Lenny did not play last night. Luciano Chinapi was in the goal for the Bears last night. Chinapi's game got better as the game wore on. A couple of questionable goals early on, I thought, but nonetheless, he's a terrific effort, put forth a terrific effort for the Bears and gave them a chance to be successful, of which case they ended up getting that tie last night. But the Red Dragons will come into this game at an overall record of 10-10-1, 7-6-1 in the Sunyak. The Bears 7-11-2, 4-7-2 in the Sunyak. Look for a much higher energy level from the Bears here in this very early going. Backstopped by Lenny Pierno. They're going to need him here this afternoon.
On PotsdamBears.com, on the left side will be the Bears in the usual white uniforms on the home turf. They are white and maroon trim, and for Cortland, it's going to be the red uniforms with white stripes and white numbers. As the puck is dropped here, it will be flipped out back into center ice by the Red Dragons. Humphreys puts a shot towards the net. Quick stop already by Lenny Pierno, not even 30 seconds into the game.
Good look by Pierno. He saw that all the way, got the stick on it, steered the puck to the corner, but good concentration early on by Pierno.
Working the puck around, the defense keeps it in at the blue line, and it is shot up into the Zamboni entrance. Watson going after this loose puck. Whistle is blown. High sticking is called against City Potsdam.
So they're going to bring it all the way back out here. Not allowing a change, I don't believe. I'm not really sure why that is.
Yeah, because I do see Watson, Malmeister, and Hohen are still out here.
Yeah, they wanted to get a change on that, but face-off going to be to the left of Pierno. Just a slight change for the Red Dragons as Morley Phillips, Justin Legault, and Garrett Krager will come out on the forward lines. This is going to be an icing call here against the Bears here. We're getting off to a little bit of a staggered start here in the early going.
So while we have a minute, we will say that the Red Dragons are coached by Joe Cardelli in his 12th year with the program. He's 127 wins, 114 losses, and 17 ties. And for the Bears, coached by Mike Grace in his first season here with the Bears, the assistant coach is Mike LaSala. Dohart Wood will corral this puck in his own zone. Got it to the half wall. Watson flips it across. Too far for Malmeister, and it's picked up here by the Red Dragons. Coming back the other way. Shot on net, and that one goes into the breadbasket of Pierno.
Morley Phillips with that quick wrist shot from the right-hand side, left-hand side on Pierno. He's a first-year player, freshman, 220 pounds, tall. He's a tall 6'3". He looks very, very long on those skates out there, but looks very athletic on his wheels as well.
Bears win the face-off as Lucas Salas trying to roll this one around to the opposite side boards. No dice, so now they have to regroup and try to go the other way. That time the puck did make it out to center ice, and it's quickly thrown back into the offensive territory by the Red Dragons. Icing is waved off here. Going after it is Krasnoyarov with a burst of speed. Comes out in front of the net. One-timer, and ooh, just missing wide there was Garrett McCabe who let it go.
Couldn't get a good angle on it. He gave it the best effort he had, but he couldn't really get the puck to go really where he wanted to. He couldn't get his body squared up on that, but that was a good look by Krasnoyarov to get the puck out in front of the net.
Battling for this one is Cannell, flipped up in the air, and that one brought down with a glove by DeMoro. However, he could not keep it in the offensive zone. Dumped along by Garnier. Rocco Siri to Cannell in front of his own bench. He will skate out, and he will toss this one down below the net of Suggs. He plays this one. However, the Bears got to it first. Puck is going to make its way down the ice. Campbell, the first one back. However, he gets bodied by Martin. On the opposite side, Hall will hack this one down the ice. First one back for it is going to be number 5, Matthew Despirit, a sophomore defenseman from Hamburg, New York. Also played for the Northeast Generals in the NAHL. This one deflected on. It's in the crease, loose. Somehow Perno sticks to it like glue to make the save and the whistle.
Well, that was a good look there, and that was a double touch by Humphreys and by Cristiano in front to not only give Lenny something to think about off the stick of Humphreys, but it also had to go off the stick of Cristiano as well. But Perno was there to make either one of 2 saves or 2 saves on that particular opportunity there for the Cortland Red Dragons.
Face-off will be to the left of the Bears goalie, as quickly coming back the other way is going to be Malmeister. He stops at the blue line and waits for his personnel to come back in. Hohen will receive this one. Tough angle shot on the left side of the post, and the stop is made by Nolan Suggs. Dahlhard Wood receives the pass. His shot goes down off the end boards. Hohen could not get it towards the net. Out of the corner, it's going to skitter to the top of the crease, down the ice, and that will result in an icing. It took a hot minute, but it will be an icing against the Red Dragons.
In my opinion, this is a much livelier beginning to the game than we saw last night. Both teams, I think, looking forward to an opportunity here for points, but no doubt that the energy level seems to be up there where it needs to be for both clubs.
As they will reset here, Perron, little too fast on the draw with Humphreys. And he has the puck, trying to swing and take the shot at the same time. He almost gets knocked down here by a falling player. Then that one is slapped towards the net, goes wide. Bottom corner here in the Red Dragon zone. That could have been a cross check. Somehow Cortland avoids that one. And they will try the breakout. No good. McCabe, great play to get by the player, Humphrey, who was falling down. Here's Perron, uncontested shot, goes off the skate, and there was nobody there for the rebound. However, it's kept in here with Krasnoyarov. Hall bodies his man after the pass was made. That one is shot towards the net. It went off a skate. Now it takes a precarious bounce off the boards. Another shot towards the net. Suggs paddles it into the corner.
Gotta like the effort here on the forecheck. Bears are really working it and finding the loose pucks. You can see that energy level much improved from last night. A lot of effort at picking up the recovery of the loose pucks. That extra effort is allowing this forecheck to really stay in on pace.
And just as you say that, partner, it looks like Jacob Hall is going to kill the momentum for his team, as he is going to get a slashing call down in the corner, knocking the stick out of the defenseman's hands.
Well, the Cortland Red Dragons, we're going to take a look at their statistics here. Their power play operating at about 18.5%. So legitimate power play, and the Bears have been struggling on the PK here. So we'll just see what happened. There was 2 power play goals scored last night by Morrisville. So the Bears have got to be on their game right here with 15:06 to go in this first period.
Picked up here. Cannell could not get it out. However, a miscommunication there, as Thomas Rocky could not control the puck. He'll go after it now again. This time he does make the outlet pass, and with a burst of speed, it's going to be Garnier over the blue line. Then, he takes a shoulder as he let go of the puck right in front of Chinappy on the bench. Nice little rugby scrum for this one. Both teams still poking away at it. It's Pride free, and it looks like the Red Dragons come out with it. Krieger across the ice, top of the circle, no shot. Miscommunication once more by the defenseman here on the power play unit for Cortland.
Grenier tried to pinch in there a little bit heading to the middle of the slot area, but the defender was thinking that he was going to be in a position to receive the pass, and it went behind him. So frequently, unfortunately, it was the puck that left the zone for the Bears.
Draw pass by Seitz was picked up there by Sirio, and he'll put it to the left wing side. Cristiano gets away with it. Back up to Sirio. He will survey the landscape and will pass it right back on the tape of Cristiano. Down low, playing pitch and catch. Cristiano now to the opposite side. It'll come back up here to Sirio. At the point, he will swap with Humphrey. Could not get the shot away. Kilmurray putting on some good pressure so that he couldn't get a shot on the Bears' net. Now here's one that smokes the crossbar as Seitz fired it in.
Good puck movement there, setting up in a 2-1-2 offensive opportunity with that bumper in the middle of the slot area. That player can move high and low depending on how they want to possess the puck there. But a nice look by Seitz to really zing that thing off the far crossbar.
Puck went out off into the netting. Face-off was to the right of Perno that time. Humphrey will regain control. 10 seconds remaining here in the penalty to Hall. And we have 13 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in our opening period, still scoreless. Sirio down low, looking for somebody to deflect that. Perno hits it away. Malmeister had an opportunity as he was switching up. They will not call it an icing. He's the first one there. However, everybody else was changing up for SUNY Potsdam, so he did not really have anybody in front of the net to pass to. Malmeister has it again. He looks up and will skate it on his own, but he has Watson in tow. That one is tipped off the top of his stick, going back towards the net. And Rocco Siri with a good defensive play to make sure that there was not going to be another attempt at a shot on Perno. That one blows by Siri. Campbell, the last line of defense here for the Bears. Perron tips that one to make sure that the icing is waved off, and he will head off for a well-deserved breather on the bench.
Attempted dump in, hit the linesman, so it did not get all the way down into the zone. It was turned over high in the offensive zone for the Bears. The Cortland Red Dragons able to get control of it and feature a play out into the neutral zone.
Both teams slapping their sticks at it. Blanchard fans on the shot. Second one really did not have a whole lot of power on it. And now Landon Cole is going to get roughed up, and he loses his stick for good measure. The shot by Dobbs goes off of Garnier. As again, the Red Dragons will try to bring it back here right to left. Backhanded and picked up here by Dobbs. Stopped on a dime briefly, then continued to coast forward, and he lost sight of the puck. Campbell brings this one down out of the air. He hits Hall in stride. Hall to the left wing side, takes the shot he had. Suggs sliding over, and that one just misses.
A little bit of a redirect or a little bit of change in speed gave Suggs that just a little bit of a indecision there, but as the puck was fortunate enough to go wide.
Hall gets rubbed out along the boards right at the blue line of Cortland. And that again is going to be an errant chip by Seitz. However, they do get a break here as the Bears have to tag up on the offsides. 10 minutes and 38 seconds remaining here in the first period of play at Maxey Hall Arena. And we are still scoreless in this game between Cortland and Potsdam.
Nice look on the breakout, a little behind the back play. Found Siri coming up in support of the offense. He was able to get it and dump it deep into the zone, but nice little touch pass on that breakout.
Presley to Siri, who will look up and again just take that extra split second to try to make the play. Here's a possible 2-on-1. It's Hohen and Malmeister, and it was in the skates of Malmeister. He could not get the shot off. Meanwhile, though, the puck was going towards the net, and it was knocked away by the Red Dragons. Here's another shot, this time by Phillips on Perno, and it's an easy paddle save. Oh, going right in front of the net, trying to get a one-timer, and that hits the opposite side boards.
Bears a little bit more patient with their passing coming out of the defensive zone, a little bit more purposeful. Last night saw a little bit of throwing the puck around just a bit too much, but they seem to be making more purposeful passes, which is what you have to have inside your defensive end. You should always know where that puck's going to go and be certain that it's either getting out or onto your own player's stick.
And it also almost resulted in a goal for the Bears as they came down there on the 2-on-1. This one is flipped in, and we do have a whistle here. It was a delayed offsides against SUNY Cortland.
9:05 to go here in the first period, still no score. Cortland Red Dragons will be making a change here. Now the Merkley unit will come off with Hildreth and Humphrey. We have a Humphrey and a Humphreys on this Cortland club.
As the looks like from behind there will be a delayed penalty called here against Cortland, and it's going to be an interference call. Let's see who's going to go here to the sin bin. It is going to be number 6, Nate Boak.
Bears are coming in here really struggling on the special teams. Power play operating at just about 12%. That's below the Siegfried line, if you will, where you really like to be able to be up above 15% to have a reasonable power play percentage. But Bears have struggled here as of late.
Yeah, I can't even remember the last time that the Bears actually scored a power play marker here in Maxey Hall. It's definitely been quite a while. As that will come over the blue line, Dohert Wood will just back skate with it and regroup. Try to get something going here as he brings it in on his own and will go forward with it. Nobody has taken his place just yet here. Finally, he made it back to his spot. However, that one is flipped off his glove all the way down the ice.
He'll set up behind the net here with Dobas offering support. Watson will belly towards the Zamboni door as Eli will come up the middle of the ice looking for a play.
Well, it was a nice crisp tape-to-tape pass to Watson, who now has it, but it is poked away at the last second from behind. Good job there by Hildreth. Dobbs, shot. Ooh, that one almost deflected in there by Watson. Not sure if it would have been a high stick or not, but it was a good attempt.
It looked like to me it would have been clean. It would have been close.
It would have been very close.
There's no doubt about it, but I think he was at the crossbar.
Going across ice, Watson looking out in front. Cannell was there. He had his stick up in the air. That was batted away, and it is knocked out here out of the danger zone by the Red Dragons. 20 seconds remaining in the interference call to Boak. Campbell will give it back to his partner Dobbs. And it's Campbell quarterbacking the play behind the cage. Two-line pass up there to Kilmurray as he comes into the offensive zone. He will swoop down behind the net, shielding it with his body. Nicely done. The penalty has expired, so the Bears will sit at 0 for 1 here so far this afternoon. Stolen away in the passing lane. That is thrown down the ice by the Bears, and they will come back here, I believe, to the right of Perno.
Good speed coming up that side. Number 16, Thomas Rocky, the forward, the sophomore, played for Rochester in the NAHL. Had some good speed there and offered an opportunity for an offensive opportunity, but the Bears were able to recognize that and take the icing.
Loose puck here. Seitz is in the vicinity. It's passed back. Shot towards the net. That definitely was deflected off a composite in the slot area, but Perno makes the snap save.
Good quick shot from the point by Dino Mineta. the sophomore from Wading River, New York, and he got a lot on that shot. So the face-off is going to be to the left of goaltending Lenny Pierno. This is going to be Rocky on this assist. Like I was mentioning before, he's got a good set of wheels. This guy can go.
Clean win here for the Red Dragons. Shot back down low by Mineta. It came out in front. Rocky could not get a piece of it. And now it's going to be Hohen on the left wing side with Watson. Watson curls away. Salas towards the net. Ooh, Malmeister was creeping in down low, but it was a little bit too far in front of him. Meanwhile, it's a 2-on-1. Cristiano, rookie shot, blows by the right side post.
Bears got caught in an an odd man situation there. The pinch on the blue line was not executed properly, so it looked like a 2-on-1. Good save by Pierno right there, but initially looked like a 2-on-1 was going to be set up, but the good back pressure by the Bears forced the Cortland Red Dragons to look for the trailer and found them, but a good shot off the side. That was previous to that save having been made by Lenny Pierno.
Cristiano gave a little tap to Pierno after he made the save and the whistle was blown. Krasnoyarov taking exception to that, scooting over there for Cristiano. However, the referees saw him coming and make sure that nothing was going to come out of that. Puck briefly kept in here by the Red Dragons. However, it does squirt out to the neutral zone. And crisscrossing around here with it is going to be Kiristis. He gets it across in front. There's a shot, and that one again is steered aside by Pierno. Garnier tried to back pass it to Kiristis, but now it's the Bears. Krasnoyarov, tough angle, tried to take a shot. Don't think he got it off as he was hounded from behind. Dobbs, a wrist shot that goes off a stick of Garnier. Down low again, fighting for this one is Perron. 5 minutes remaining here in our first period, and still goose eggs on the scoreboard, 0-0. Little flip pass, now backhanded off the boards. That one is going to be hurled back in by Campbell with force. Hall trying to go in there. He'll take a jab from Suggs as he tries to back check here. Flipped in on net and in the air. It's a glove down by Pierno.
Pretty even period here so far, I would think. Shots on goal, I think Lenny Pierno has been the busier of the two goaltenders, and perhaps even with the quality of the saves. But nonetheless, this has been a, territorially, I would call this a fairly even game.
Which apparently last night, it was the same thing with Cortland and SUNY Canton over at the Ruse House. Cortland end up winning that one by a final score of 2-1. As we mentioned, the Bears were here last night and ended up going to a 3-3 tie before winning the shootout, as Pierno will make another save and add to that tally of saves here in the first.
Yeah, long shot came off the boards. He had to grab on to that to ensure that the play got shut down. Little scrambly there for the Bears. They will get a change. Sednik Dobas out there on the left-hand side, the defenseman coming up to fill that position over on the board side face-off.
That goes off a stick. Landon Cole recovers for the Bears. His pass to Blanchard just bobbled over the blade as Blanchard tries to get it back. Ahead, it's going to be Humphrey. However, that's poked away. Nice defense put on by Dobbs, as he will now switch up here with Dahlhard Wood. Dahlhard Wood being pressured by two players. Got it up to Cole. Cole kicks it with his skate, and he will go off now for the change with Watson. Dahlhard Wood, one of the assistant captains here. Campbell Also wearing one of the letters here, flips it down the ice. It's an icing with 3 minutes and 36 seconds remaining before the intermission.
Interesting play there by Michael. Michael Campbell had that puck on his stick. Wasn't confident in the handling of the puck, so he just chose to try to glass it off. It certainly went all the way down the ice for that face-off.
So this will be Krieger in the face-off dot with Hohen. And it looks like Hohen will actually be tossed here. No, they're going to let him at least take one more chance on the face-off. He did win it over to Blanchard and will skate after it with a little pep in his step, so to speak, into the corner. Watson, the supporting cast, helping out there. But here come the Red Dragons over the blue line, slowing it down. That goes off the skate in front, and it's cleared away. Nicely done by Salas.
Very nicely done. Loose puck there, dangerous. He was able to get the stick on it and move it out of that danger zone.
Off a stanchion, Malmeister will pick this one up here for SUNY Potsdam. With help as he got rubbed out. Kilmurray's shot goes off a hip in front in the slot area, as just trying to get to the bench was Serio. And here's a chance for Cortland. Pirno comes up big.
They have a good counterattack there. You have to be on your game here. They seem to be able to really turn the play in a hurry and get those offensive opportunities, especially low in the zone. It looks like they can find the open space nicely there.
Down into the corner. It was Seitz battling with Siri. Siri got it out to center ice. Manetta will try to swing to the opposite side boards and backhand it along. However, his team was on the tail end of their shift, and Perron will bring it to center ice. He continues to go. Then he's knocked down with a stick by Manetta. Flipped up in the air, brought down by Perron. He's still being pretty much smothered from behind. It comes out to the side of the net. He's there. The ref says it's still loose. He finally blows the whistle as all the bodies start flying in, crashing to the ice.
Well, that was a good save by Skuggs there, and he fought the positionally there. He didn't have control of the puck. The official was right on the doorstep, keeping an eye on things. The Red Dragons defense came in and cleared things out, and really good patience and game control, personal control by both teams there, not to get mixed up in any type of altercation. But a good job by the goaltender to find it and hold on to it for the face-off.
One back here by Perron. Dobbs will try to put it on the half wall as it goes up into the corner. Below the cage. That one came out for Perron. However, he barely got a piece of it as he'll go back for it.
McCabe on that nice little reverse look, trying to catch the defense cheating, but they would have none of it. But a nice look by McCabe.
A deflection picked up here by the Red Dragons as they break out again. Shot on net, and Perno makes an easy glove save in the trapper.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He saw it, but he also saw a lot of red shirts in front of him. So rather than keeping that play alive, he decided to hold on with 1:08 to go in the period. Faceoff's going to be to his left here as the Bears will put out on the faceoff there. That is going to be the captain, number 7, Mason Hohen's unit out there right now.
Flip back down low. Ooh, trying to go out quickly to the front was Justin Legault. That was stolen away by Campbell. He was not fooled by that one bit. Hohen will go in on a Rookie. Rookie has it again, and he got it up to the defense. Shot back down low with 40 seconds remaining here on the scoreboard. That one shot towards the net. Campbell has it deflect off the heel of his skate. And here's a chance. Watson has the Jets. Can he beat Manetta? He cannot, but he puts the pass in front. It went behind Malmeister. A slap shot from Hohen hits the body of Andrew Clouden.
Good good effort there. Good back pressure by Cortland to get back in that play and bother Malmeister. The pass was behind him for sure.
Here's another one for Mason Hohen, who wrists it wide on the right side. 5 seconds remaining. Hall comes around, puts it out, shoots, scores! Jacob Hall gets his own rebound, and it's 1-0 with 1 second remaining.
Well, I tell you, that's a good focus there by Hall to keep the play going. He knew that the time was winding down. Came out from the corner, from what we look at as being the right-hand corner, came out, just stayed with it, tried to force it through the goaltender. Goaltender could not handle it, but he was able to make it, find his own rebound and put it behind goaltender Nolan Suggs for the first goal of the game with 1.7 seconds to go.
Hall will just kick this one back to the defense. The horn will sound, and that will finish the opening 20 minutes here at Maxey Hall Arena. After 1 period of play, it is now on a late goal. The SUNY Potsdam Bears 1, the Cortland Red Dragons 0.
Well, those goals late in the period, and you don't get much later than that. They're momentum builders or momentum killers. In this case, it's a momentum builder for the Bears as they were able to come out. A good period of hockey here for both teams. A much better period of hockey for the Bears as they were energized right from the start. They played hard all period long, and they were rewarded with that goal with 1.7 seconds to go in the period.
So the Bears will march their way into the locker room here with the lead. They'll have to keep that momentum going into the second. As we step aside here for the next 10 minutes, we will be back with the first period intermission report, the statistics, and the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll be back here soon on Mix 96.1 FM and PotsdamBears.com. intermission at the Maxey Hall Arena in Potsdam, New York, as currently in our men's hockey matchup, it is the SUNY Potsdam Bears 1 and the Cortland Red Dragons 0. Along with Todd Truex engineering this broadcast for Mix 96.1 FM, and alongside my partner, the former Potsdam Bears coach, John Horn. I'm Taylor Salisbury. Before we get into the intermission statistics, we will quickly just glance over the out-of-town scoreboard as for SUNY Potsdam's women's hockey team. They are on the road at Buffalo State. They are down here at the start of the third period by a score of 2-1. The men's basketball team is at Cortland, and they trail here by a huge amount, 22-5, with 13 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the first half. For SUNY Canton's women's hockey team, they are at Morrisville. They lead them by a score of 2-0, 16 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in regulation. The men's hockey team is taking on Morrisville. At the end of one period of play, it's 1-0 Canton. The Saints women's hockey team is at Yale, and they trail 2-0 at the end of two periods. The women's basketball team is defeated by RIT 71-49. However, the men's basketball team faring much better, 27-19 at the end of the first half. The Clarkson Golden Knights women's hockey team is at Brown. They are down by 2 goals, 3-1 at the start of the third. The men's hockey team also in action right now across town at Shield Arena. At the end of 20 minutes of play versus Union, they lead 3-1. In women's SUNYAC hockey, Oswego State and Cortland are deadlocked at 1 apiece with 14 minutes remaining in the third. William Smith leads Plattsburgh State 1-0 after one period of play. And the men's SUNYAC hockey scores. Buffalo State is at Skidmore. They are still scoreless after the first period. And Plattsburgh State is up 1-0 on Fredonia at the end of the first period of play. Oswego State and Geneseo will battle at 7 p.m. in Oswego. As we come back in here, John, that first period you were mentioning before the intermission, a lot more urgency and energy in this Bears team, even though that goal came late. In the first period of play, they stood tall with the Red Dragons, and right now they lead them by 1.
Yes, indeed, and that goal came at 19:59 of the first period. It was an even strength goal. Jacob Hall would get his 5th of the year, with Mason Hohen picking up an assist along with Eli Duarte Wood getting his 10th assist. Shots on goal in the first period had the Dragons out shooting the Bears to the tune of 11-8. But I will call it as being certainly a very even period. The score indicates that. Shots on goal will indicate that. And it was, I thought both teams came to play. They're playing very hard. And I think in all aspects of the game, it's a pretty well-played game right now so far.
As both teams just about ready to make their way back out here on for the second period of play. Once again, we do want to say this is definitely a game that the Bears want in their back pocket, especially as they're trying to pick up those points. They only got one last night, but hey, 3 out of 4 points on the weekend, especially playing a team like Cortland, would be a tip of the cap for SUNY Potsdam.
Well, looking at what's coming down the road here, the Bears will be on the road next week against Fredonia and Buff State. Both of those teams are either tied with the Bears currently or ahead of the Bears, so those will be very, very important games there before the Bears will return home on Bear Pride weekend to face Skidmore and the Cardinals. The Bears right now, and again, by virtue of missing out on that full 2 points last night, they are currently tied for the last playoff spots with Fredonia and Canton, all three with 10 points. But Canton is up right now by 1 goal over Morrisville. So the factor, we hope that loss of that 1 point does not come back to really bite you in the playoff structure.
And the way that it's structured here right now, and with how every team so far in the men's hockey SUNYAC has done currently, really, it's probably going to come down to that last night. I guarantee that it probably will. Also have to mention that Oswego also punched their ticket, as even though they lost last night to Hobart, who remains undefeated, they do still get their spot in the SUNYAC playoffs.
Yeah, and they're in a pretty solid position in second place. No doubt about it. Even though Cortland could reach them, they will not play. Oswego will not play today. I think they're playing Geneseo in a non-league game.
Yeah. Yep.
But Cortland, by virtue of a win today, could pull within 2 points of that second place. So lots of points available here as the playoff structure will unfold here over the next 2 weeks.
McCabe rockets that one in off the face-off, and a nice stop as Suggs had to be up to the task.
Super face-off win there by Perrant. Matthew had the nice pay right onto the stick of McCabe. He's going to try it again here.
He's going to try to reload and have guns ablazing. However, Perrant lost that face-off. The puck is flipped up as Dohart Wood will do a great catch. Thought he was out in the outfield taking away a home run there as he brought it back down to the ground. At center ice, it's brought back in here on the touch-up offsides by Lucas Salas. Serio advancing the puck forward across the blue line. He'll get it right back from Phillips. They don't connect with one another. That is deflected off the board down the ice for icing.
A little bit too much on that, a little bit more time than the Potsdam player anticipated. Just got rid of the puck, if you will, and that's an ill-advised icing in my opinion here, as the faceoff will come back in the Bears zone. Going to be to the left of goaltender Lenny Perno. He's been solid here in the game so far.
Perrant with another win. McCabe is going to try to get out of his own zone. He does successfully. Then he is bumped off the puck. He'll quickly change with Finnegan Kilmurray. Over on the far side, it's Charlie Merkley. He'll get that back up here to Romulo. Below the net. Trying to get it out is Kilmurray. Romulo, good job with keeping that in as he had to go down to one knee to block it. He'll pinch on the half wall, and luckily he has somebody switch up with him because Kilmurray brings it back the other way. He takes a tough angle shot, and that goes off the back of the arm of Suggs. Kilmurray now trying to come in to help out his partner. Believe down there that is trying to get the number. I want to say that's Siri. Hall keeps that in at the blue line. The official says it's good to go. Kilmurray waiting for the pass. Siri has that one blocked. Cannell back to Siri. Siri shoots it towards the net blindly, and it's going to be brought down in the corner. Jacob Hall kicks it back up to the blade. Trying to put it through traffic, could not do it. That hits a stick. That was Humphrey's stick that it hit, and it goes out of play.
Good shift by Rocco Siri there, not only to establish a good forecheck and a good possession and a fight for the puck in the corner, but stayed in on the play. Good stick work, nice hands, kept the puck alive along the sidewall as the Bears were able to sustain a little bit more offensive zone pressure than you would have expected coming off of that play. Good play by Rocco Siri.
Little bit of external discussion here by one of the officials and the bench of the Bears, but we finally have the puck dropped again. Getting back for it first will be Felix. Into the middle lane. This one's stolen away, and a chance is coming up. Martin back to Grenier. What a save off the skate by Perno!
Well, we talked about how quickly they can turn over those pucks and get them into odd man situations. There was a great example of there forcing Lenny Perno to make his best save of the afternoon.
That was Grenier who received the pass back from Martin. It was almost like a tic-tac-toe touch pass attempt. And Perno stayed with it and slid over in time. Mineta gets away with this. Ooh, that one! Oh, they're going to call it a goal. Mineta squeezes it under the crossbar. The official was behind the net, so he had a good vantage point. But it looks like this game is now tied at 1.
Boy, that was quicker than I can see. I'd love to see the replay on that. They're certainly talking about it. Doesn't appear to be a lot of argument from the Bears' point of view on that. They would normally, in any other level of hockey, they'd be going to the bench here to take a look at it, but that isn't going to be the case. And as we're going to see, that's going to be a goal that will stand.
Absolutely, it's at the...
I did not see that go in and out. I did not see that.
I heard it hit the crossbar, but I could not see if it touched any white. However, again, the point of view of us up here looking downward and the official behind the net looking kind of upwards is, well, the tale of two stories.
Well, certainly he was in the position to make the call. Rarely will you get an argument out of anybody if the referee is in the proper position to make that call. However, the sound was different than coming off the pipe, so which means that it probably hit the netting and the metal in behind there up in the upper shelf, in the upper shelf.
Well, Mineta planted it perfectly up and in to tie this game at 1 apiece with 15 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Seitz trying to get this one back. Humphrey through a crowd. Had that one flip over the netting. Cortland now putting on a good amount of pressure here against the Bears as they try to regain their footing after losing the lead.
Well, that goal at the end of the period has energized Cortland. There's no doubt about it. They seem to have been really on their game right now as they turn over the puck again inside the zone, and that's going to be their second goal in just about a minute here. We're going to see who actually got credit for that.
It was Legault who took the initial pass in, went off a body, and it's going to be Garrett Krieger, the sophomore forward, getting the second goal here for the Red Dragons. Quickly, they have taken the lead here.
You could feel that one coming. The Bears a little bit tentative inside their own zone, can't find the handle inside the defensive zone to make those purposeful passes as they were in the first. The pressure by Cortland has really made the Bears puck handling much more difficult than it was in the first period.
Mineta will spin away with the puck. However, his pass out in front is intercepted. McCabe going after that one, got behind the defense. However, he is knocked away from it, and this one goes down the ice. It's going to come back here into the Red Dragons' defensive end.
Well, that's a good break for the Bears as they need an opportunity to get into the offensive zone here, relieve a little bit of that pressure. We're going to be mindful of Lenny Perno here as he will be really paying attention to the temperature of the game, feeling that if he has to shut things down, he will. But you got to be this Cortland offense has been firing on all cylinders here in the second period.
Hall will skate up to the blue line and then shoot it down the boards. Kilmurray on the opposite side will try to do battle here. He did knock off the puck briefly, Morley Phillips. However, Cannell putting it back in has to tag up. Legault avoids a check, got it up to Humphrey across to the left wing side, shot towards the net, and that one is knocked away by Perno. Nifty hands there as Kilmurray had to come in to take that away from Humphreys. Meanwhile, Humphrey went behind the net, passed it back out in front. DeSpirit will bring it down from the blue line. on the right side. That went through everybody. It's picked up here on the opposite side by Jeremy Cannell, and he will take a shot into the boards.
To Spirit with a heavy check over on Cannell, getting back into his defensive positioning.
13 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here as the Bears try to come back on an odd man rush. Given to Hohen, nicely done by Watson. However, Hohen just could not put it forward into the net.
Thought he was even going to look for the trailer. Malmeister coming in here, but a nice look as the crashing forward. Hohen was there, just couldn't get the puck on his stick.
Dahart Wood will let Hohen take this one away and then go up into the rush. Dahart Wood put that in the skates of Hohen, and now it's going to be taken back by Manetta. Hohen tags up on the offside and will go back after it. Though he will lose that battle with Clouden, who was just Paul Bunyaning the puck away. Watson gets taken down on the play. There will be a delayed call. The whistle is blown. An opportunity, the second one so far of the game for the Bears.
It's going to be a tripping call here now on Cortland, as the Bears will have the opportunity here with 12:36 to go in this second period. Face-off is obviously inside the Cortland zone. The Bears will send out Perron and Krasnoriev along with Cannell. Perron and Cannell have been longtime partners on their lines. They've broken them up here over the last game or so, but Campbell on the point along with Dobis.
It's a tripping call here against the Red Dragons, and Clouden, as he will sit in the box for 2 minutes or less. And, well, he will think about what he did there, and it might come back here to haunt Cortland as the Bears try to tie this game up halfway through the second period. Perron ties up there on the faceoff. It's one back to Campbell. Across. Hohen waits, and Campbell again puts one on net. Cannell was right there, but Suggs is able to make a great save.
Good positioning there. Nice shot from the point. He had a good look at it with Cannell right on the doorstep there. Good patience by both teams. You didn't see an extra whack by Cannell, nor did you see an extra elbow by the Cortland defender there. They just kind of peeled away, recognizing the importance here, not wanting to get anything more advantageous or lose the advantage in the power play.
Thrown around the glass. Cannell will chip it back down to the Zamboni corner. Perron will swing away with it. Taking it away this time now. Here's a wraparound in front. It's loose. Cannell tried to get it out to Perron, then it's chipped by Dobbs.
Good puck movement, good hands by Cannell there to try to get around into the front of the net. Couldn't quite get enough to do a wraparound.
Still 1 minute remaining here in the power play opportunity for the Bears. Hohen is knocked down hard. However, the puck is underneath his legs, so he gets back up quickly. Dahart Wood in front of his own net has possession, trying to give it to Hohen. Hildreth knocks it back down low. Dahart Wood hit from behind. That goes off the hand of Malmeister, back out here into the neutral zone. Bears regrouping here. Hall will give it, coming in with some speed was Hohen. That one is stripped away from him as the Red Dragons try to come back the other way with Cristiano. Cristiano backhands it in. Humphreys was also there on the opposite side. The pass connects here with the stick of Hohen. Now it's a shot towards the net by, I believe that was Presley. Dahart Wood towards the net. Deflected away in the slot area. Power play is over with. The Bears go 0 for 2 as Clouden will switch up with Rookie off the bench.
Yeah, the Bears have struggled here to try to get really good looks on the power play. Possession has been the problem, gaining possession is in allowing them to set up any type of strategy offensively has been very, very difficult. Pressure against their entries have just not allowed them to get a clean possession. So Bears have really got to try to come up with a different strategy, thoughtfulness here, either taking some more shots from wide angles or whatever, but it doesn't appear that the ability to get possession and set up is going to be the order of the day.
Seems like a good old-fashioned garbage plate might be in store here for the Potsdam Bears going forward. Phillips is going to be bodied by Presley, who also then gives him a cross-check. Campbell tries to get away with this one. That goes off a skate of Kilmurray down into the Bears' defensive zone. Up in the corner, Presley will leave it for Kilmurray. Behind the net, it's Campbell. McCabe advances this. The outlet pass went to Landon Cole. It was tipped off his stick, but Kilmurray will bring it back in. Here's a wrist shot that barely went off the right skate of Suggs.
You know, that's a play that they like to use. I haven't seen it used as much this year as in the past. Oftentimes getting a little too farther in the zone, but really to try to go off pad with a far shot, creating a rebound opportunity. You'll notice, and I thought about this a little bit earlier, getting down there a little bit too far into the zone before trying to get a crossing pass isn't the angle you want to get to try to get a rebound. So, you know, that was an opportunity there as he tried to go far pad and create an opportunity for the opposite wing coming in.
Presley will have Peyton Felix take this one out of the defensive zone. That pass goes over the stick of Felix. It was on target. However, Suggs is going to sit on it for the faceoff.
Yeah, good back pressure there by the Red Dragons. They've got good team speed. And again, we're on the heels of the Bears as they tried to get something going. The puck just made it ever so slowly to the goaltender. He decided to hold on to it because there was good body presence by the Bears, albeit nothing would have been clean in terms of possession.
Another defensive face-off win here by the Red Dragons, quickly turned over. Here's a chance and an opportunity. Delhard Wood looking for that pass. However, great defensive effort by Joshua Romolo. Romolo, a 6'2 defenseman sophomore from Brooklyn, Ontario. Making sure that that puck didn't go any farther towards the net of Suggs on that previous possession. Now here's a chance as Watson turns on the speed. Cutting in, could not get the shot away as he's pressured on the side by Merkley. McCabe gets this one at the top of the circle. His pass behind for Delhard in the skates. He still gets a shot away. Hohen tipped it. Here's another chance. McCabe right in close, but not a whole lot of space to squeeze it in. Suggs makes a great save.
Well, good body position by the goaltender. Good shot and good pass. It was Hohen who made the nice pass to McCabe. He was bothered. There was the defender all over him, but he did that. McCabe did get his stick on the puck and forcing that save by the goaltender Nolan Suggs.
As we have 8 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the middle frame. Cortland has struck 2 times here in the second and now lead 2-1. Across ice, the shot, they score! A shot off a pass, it's Colby Seitz, the senior, who now makes it a 3-1 game.
Well, that was right across the ice, about 4 feet out in front of the blue ice. The goaltender couldn't get a stick on it to prevent that cross-ice pass, but Seitz, he really made no mistake about that, got the puck on his stick, and it was clearly up above goaltender Pierno, who had to move from his left to his right and just could not get there in time.
A 2-goal margin here, as SUNY Potsdam will try to answer back here in a hurry. Hall, ooh! Hits Clouden from behind. I'm surprised that he didn't get called on a penalty for that one, and now the Bears showing a lot of aggressiveness here off that ensuing face-off after the third goal. Cannell gets a piece of Clouden, and now finally he's going to make his way back to the bench. He definitely has to have some black and blue bruises after 3 successful hits. Phillips. Siri will get called here. I believe it's going to be a slash. We'll have to wait and see. No high sticking. So the Bears will go down a man here. 7 minutes remaining in the second.
Well, Cortland with an opportunity to open this thing up here with a power play marker would move it to a 3-goal margin. Bears very crucial right now to keep this at a 2-goal game here. Lots of time left in the game. It's going to be Rocco Siri that will go off on the high sticking penalty.
Partner, I don't know if you were looking down here. I was looking over here at the Bears bench, and when they were switching up personnel, Kill Murray was literally getting in Suggs' way as he was going back to his respective net, and he was giving him a little bit of trash talk. Maybe that'll get into the head of Suggs, because he also gave him a whack as Kill Murray made it to the bench.
Well,
but here's another opportunity for Cortland to really put this one out of range for the Bears. Sirio. Behind the back pass. With it now is going to be Cristiano looking for Sirio. That one blows by him. Suggs, though, quickly plays it back up to the Bears' blue line. 2-on-1. Phillips takes the shot, got the rebound, but both times it's Pierno coming up big.
Well, Humphrey was there as well, and that could have been a pass and a good goal-scoring opportunity, or Phillips himself had a good scoring opportunity himself on that, so he chose to shoot it. But Humphreys was in the position to get that one-timer away as well.
Cortland taking their sweet time. Finally, a rookie with a nice deep pass, Cannell, as he avoided the check. On the half wall, that one was telegraphed. Cannell saw it and flips it safely down the ice. Looks like Campbell and Hohen have made their way back out here, and Kilmurray will shuffle off for Malmeister. Rookie trying to go to the right wing lane, and now it comes out in front of the net. Backhander hits Hohen's arm. Whoa, boy, that was a dangerous play there by the Red Dragons.
Well, again, one of those kind of no-look reverse passes from behind the net. You may think he's going the one way and he goes back the other with that reverse pass, and it found the stick. He was actually not covered at all. So, but the ensuing save by Lenny Pierno here shuts things down with 5:24 to go in the period and 5 seconds to go in the power play for the Red Dragons.
Pierno looked like he caught a bullet there off that last shot, as he will set himself at the top of the crease on the left-hand corner. Power play is over with. The backhander by Hohen actually hits a bucket of a Cortland player on the bench, so they'll just reset at the same face-off circle.
Got the Hohen line out there right now with Watson and Malmeister for this defensive end face-off to the left of goaltender Lenny Pierno. The Bears will be on the road next weekend to meet up with Fredonia and Buff State before returning home here the following week for Bear Pride Night, when they'll see Skidmore and the Plattsburgh Cardinals.
Watson puts it on net. It was a short one, but it was almost effective enough to go into the back of the net. That one goes through some legs. That's a wraparound by Hohen, but it is, again, knocked aside by Suggs. Sacrificing the body there was Humphrey. Siri let it fly. His shot now as he passes it back to Dobbs. Offsides here. Cleared away by Cortland. Merkley will backhand it down low behind the goal mouth of Pierno. The Bears will try to come out strong. It's going to be tipped forward by Watson, who is looking for fresh legs to come out in Perron. Martin passing it along. Kreostis in front. That is slapped away from Garnier, as he would have had an opportunity right in the slot area to put a shot on Perno. Lenny halts this one with the stick. Perron has to go back for it. Didn't notice that there was no one over there in terms of defense, but now it's going to be DeMoro. Stick handling behind his own net. He scans the environment. His pass for Krasnoyarov taken away. Red Dragons, it's Seitz. However, he has that one go between his legs. Here's the Bears with a shot towards the net. Rocco Siri again has it go off the blocker of Suggs. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the second period. Still, well, now it's a 3-1 lead for the Red Dragons over the Bears. Hard flip to the opposite side boards. It will be waved off on the icing call. Krasnoyarov backhands it in. Offsides is called. And now finally they erase it out. Cannell had to get back, as well as Jacob Hall. One-timer opportunity in front, however, it goes wide. Manetta keeps it in. He gets checked, loses his helmet, and Kilmurray is going to go to the box.
Jeepers.
I wonder if he actually had his helmet fully buckled in on that one.
It did not look like that was a hit to the head to me.
It really did not.
It looked like that was a hit. It was certainly a hard hit. The helmet did come off, but they're going to call this, that's how it went up. So it was a body check. They're going to call that 2 minutes. Krieger wanted a 5 on that.
However, the official actually doing a very good job of explaining why he made that call, and it's not going to be a major. It's just going to be a 2-minute minor.
Well, he got it. He said he hit it, arm contact in the upper chest, and followed through with it onto the upper part of the mask, and and that took the helmet off.
Mason Hohen will bring it out of the Bears' defensive zone here on the penalty kill. And he flips it along the boards. Humphreys, the first one there, gives it to Krieger in the center lane. His shot goes off a skate. Oh, that one could have been picked up by Garnier. However, it's going to be stolen by the Bears. Dahlherdwood got to the blue line. That's as far as he gets. 3-on-1 chance here. Rookie shot is kicked away by Perno as he slides to the left side post.
Dangerous play there. Definitely was an odd man situation on the counterattack by the Cardinals, because the Bears thought that they could get an offensive rush there, really pinching through the neutral zone, but the turnover on the blue line created a dangerous situation for the Bears and a positive one for the Cardinals. For the Red Dragons.
Humphrey will try to go off here. Sirio will take his place as he will curl away with the puck. Up to Seitz. Humphrey now has it. Shot right into the stomach of Perno. And now we got Salas putting on a little bit of physicality after the play.
He was reacting to a little bit of attention getter. That was Seitz who gave him a little bit of a cross check in the chest area. Just a little bit of an attention getter, that's for sure, but face off here in the Bears zone.
Sonny Potsdam wins that one. Sirio hits it out of midair. They say that it was low enough to not be called a high stick against Cortland. Play resumes. 30 seconds remaining here in the power play for the Red Dragons. About $1:10 remaining on the clock in the second. Fanning on the shot was Cristiano. That gives a chance here for Hohen to get it out. And he will, as he bounces it down. That gives Hall and Felix a chance to switch up here. Peyton Felix out there now. Humphrey will blow by his man. Less than 1 minute remaining here in the second period, as again the power play will conclude here SUNY Potsdam kills it off. Nicely done. There's a shot that is deflected at the last second, and it just went over the head of Perno. Watson, back pass. Malmeister tries to put it through his legs, a little bit too fancy there on that one. And it looks like we're going to have, I believe, a
hand pass.
Yes.
That one-timer might have been the order of the day there. A little bit of an extra move caused the puck to be knocked off the stick of Malmeister. But Bears a couple of crucial penalty kills here after the Red Dragons opened up a 2-goal lead. The Bears have had to kill 2 consecutive penalties, and they've done so pretty well to keep this game at a 2-goal game so far.
10 seconds left. Another quick shot towards the Bears' net, and a nice save again by Perno. Meanwhile, Mineta runs into Malmeister skating back. So both
important defensive end face-off here. 6.3 seconds to go. Matthew Perron, who seems to be out there for most of the crucial face-offs. Now they're going to bring Mason Hohen out there as well. He's going to take the face-off right now.
Actually, he's going to get dumped out. Hall will have to switch. Hall beats Merkley. The shot went off his skate. It's rebounded in front. Rebound again loose. Here's another chance. And we have a player go over the top of Perno. And now here comes everybody in on that one. Meanwhile, that is the end of the second period, as Cortland will take a 3-1 lead off the ice.
Potsdam lost 2 of their checks late in that period, certainly with maybe 2 seconds remaining. Cortland had 2 players behind everybody, all alone in front of goaltender Lenny Perno, and the puck was turned over at the blue line and made its way into that goal-scoring area. We're going to see if there's going to be a penalty call.
I believe it's going to be matching minors. It'll be 1 apiece, I believe.
So that's the end of the second period. All Cortland, as that goal we talked about at the end of the first period, it's either a momentum builder or a momentum killer. And what that really did was light a fire under Cortland as they came out and were able to score 3 unanswered goals here in this second period.
And with that, we will go into our second intermission, but we will be back here in a few minutes with your updated out-of-town scoreboard as well as the statistics as we come back here for the third period at Maxey Hall on Mix 96.1 FM and PotsdamBears.com. Right, Todd, we're back in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back here on Mix 96.1 FM and PotsdamBears.com with the live stream with Todd Truex engineering this broadcast, and for my partner, the former Potsdam Bears coach, John Horn. As always, I'm Taylor Salisbury, and here at the Maxey Hall Arena, after 2 periods of play in men's hockey, Cortland bounces back and now has a 2-goal lead over the SUNY Potsdam Bears, 3-1. As we will get there momentarily, first off, let's go over some new updated out-of-town scores. The women's hockey team will be defeated at Buffalo State. The final score 4-2. The men's basketball team is still trailing Cortland 75-24 halfway through the second half.
Wow.
The women's hockey team now has gone from a 2-0 lead at Morrisville to 4-1 with about 3 minutes remaining in the third. And the men's hockey team, through 2 periods of play, also lead Morrisville 3-0. St. Lawrence University, they fall, the women's hockey team at Yale, 4-1 your final. The men's basketball team is still leading RIT 64-48, 8 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in that one. The Golden Knights, their women's hockey team actually has lost at Brown 4-1. And the men's hockey team across town has gone from a 3-1 lead to a 4-4 tie with Union halfway through the second period. The men's basketball team for Clarkson, though, has bounced back against Ithaca. They were down by 12 points. They're now up by 2, 48-46 halfway through the second half. The women's SUNYAC hockey scores, your final, Cortland 3, Oswego State 1. And 2-1 lead here at the end of 2 periods. Plattsburgh State over William Smith. The men's SUNYAC hockey, it's Skidmore leading Buffalo State 2-0 at home at the end of the second period. And then Plattsburgh State 3, Fredonia 1, 3 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in the middle frame of that one. So, John, in that second period for the Bears, just unfortunately, a few plays got past them, and it looks like Cortland started firing on all cylinders offensively, like you mentioned there before.
Well, shots on goal in that period had the Dragons outshooting the Bears 12-7. Not really a decided difference, even though the controlling of the play on the offensive side of the red line was clearly in the favor of the Red Dragons. The Bears really had trouble gathering in loose pucks and really making plays. The quickness of Cortland, I thought, gave the Bears some problems as they were just taking that extra second to think about where they wanted to go with their playing. But nonetheless, the Bears are still within striking distance here as we're getting ready to start the third period. But the goals in that period came at 3 minutes and 40 seconds as Dino Mineta would get an even strength goal, his second of the year. It would be at 4:50 that there would be a questionable goal by Garrett Krieger. We thought it went off the metal, but evidently it found the back of the net. The referee was in the position to make the call. There wasn't any argument. So Krieger got his 7th of the year. Legault would pick up his 9th assist. Then at 11:59, Colby Seitz would be the recipient of a good pass right across the face of the goal, and he would one-time it to the back of the net to give Cortland that 2-goal lead. J.C. Humphreys would pick up his 5th assist, and Sam Cristiano would pick up his 10th assist of the year. Still striking distance, 20 minutes of hockey left, but the Bears have got to find a way to get some better goal-scoring opportunities. They're getting the puck in, they're getting some looks, but it just doesn't seem like they're getting a lot of Class A scoring opportunities.
And partner, I got to say it right now, a little bit of deja vu, 3-1 going into the third period of play. SUNY Potsdam was in this position last night. Can they pull out some more magic like they did last night here in Maxey Hall?
Well, we can hope. I think the competition is just a little bit different. And if we look at the scores, we've got, the Fredonia getting beat. That's going to help the Bears stay within striking distance of a playoff spot. But Canton is going to step away here just a little bit as they are up on Morrisville, and they will secure 2 points on the weekend. And if the Bears do not come back, they will only be securing 1 point on the weekend.
And then it does help that Skidmore is beating Buffalo State as well, who were just a little bit ahead here of Potsdam in the standings. So there will be a power play here to start off the third period for the Red Dragons, as there was a little bit of a skirmish at the end of that second period of play in the last second. Somebody got cross-checked over the back of Lenny Perno, and that brought a crowd together. It's going to be Humphreys as he will coast in there. Delhard Wood will knock him away from the puck. That comes up to the blue line. Across, D-to-D pass to Cristiano. Down low, Seitz was looking for that one in the left face-off circle. But that went over the blade, back down as Suggs had to play it out of his own net.
That is going to be Sam DeMauro, who will be in the box for the Bears, as there was some activity at the end of that period. So nonetheless here, the Bears have killed off the last couple of power play opportunities for the Red Dragons. It's going to be important that they're able to be successful here in this one to keep it within 2 goals.
So far, neither team has been able to cash in here on the power play, as the Red Dragons are currently 0 for 4, hoping to not make it 0 for 5. And for the Bears, they were 0 for 2 so far through the first 40 minutes. With less than 1 minute remaining in that cross-checking penalty, Hildreth will control this one and advance it to the side for Humphreys. He could not fully hold on to that one. Now he regroups here and bounces it off the half wall up to Hildreth. Back to Humphreys. He's still having a problem with it, but a couple quick passes finally go off the shoulder of Rookie, and he blindly passes to Hildreth. His shot is stopped by Perno. He still has it. Puts it across. That goes off the shin of Hall. Nicely done by number 23 in white in front of the net.
Well, nice block there as the Bears are able to clear the zone here with 17 seconds to go. Interestingly enough, on that power play, you would have thought they could have made better passes. They didn't, they had possession of the puck, but they seemed to pass the puck to their partners in kind of awkward positions here. And as a power play, you would have thought that they could have had the passes be just a little bit better there. But nonetheless, good opportunity for the Bears as they kill off another one here. 17:45 remaining in the third period. Bears down by 2.
Watson will chip this one back up. Salas has to shoot it down low into the corner. Mason Hohen is there, as well as Malmeister, who gave it back up to Salas. His shot goes off the shin of Martin. Malmeister is able to poke this one back out. Hohen in the slot area took a shot. That goes off a leg in front. As it goes back down, careening down the ice. It's picked up here by Salas. He slows the play down here to almost a standstill. The pass went up to McCabe as he makes sure it's not going to be an icing against SUNY Potsdam. Series shot deflects off of Despirit in front of the net, and that almost went by Suggs. Miscommunication there, but Siri was up to make the stop. He tried to pass it to Perron on the doorstep. Perron could not get a piece of it. Up in the air, this is brought down by the Bears. Behind the net, Krieger is holding up Krasnoyarov, and he'll get some support in Perron. Do like that line of Perron and Krasnoyarov. I think it's the right blend of speed and I don't necessarily want to see technical prowess, but I do think that those two are a great duo as they're paired here with McCabe.
Well, there's certain reason why the coaching staff has put them together, and it's been a good look here so far.
Krasnoyarov tried to rip it towards the net as, again, it is deflected. It will bobble down the ice in time for an icing against the Red Dragons.
Bears are not going to have to try not to be quite as picky at their opportunities here. You've got to get the puck into the goal-scoring opportunity, force the Cortland goaltender to make a save or give up a rebound, but the defense in front of him has been very stingy here in terms of the slot area and really the classic good goal-scoring opportunity. And there's an example right there as the defensive player really just moved the Potsdam player off the puck area.
The Bears are going to get a power play here as Perno will hustle his way back to the bench, and Malmeister will come out here as the extra attacker. I do agree with you on that one, John, that right now the Bears really cannot try to go for the perfect shot selection here because it hasn't been there basically the whole game. That one shot that went in was technically a rebound, so at this point you just got to barrel towards the net with the puck.
And I would think even the same here on the power play. They just haven't been able to either try to formulate anything with any systematic approach, so you might as well try to get a shot and a rebound here. It's back to the point off that face-off win. Here comes the one-timer. That's exactly what they needed. Shot from the hash marks on the far right side here gave a good opportunity.
Dahlhard tries it again as Perron was the one in front. Miscommunication there as I think Malmeister was calling for it, and Hohen dropped it back right into the waiting arms of Hildreth. Dahlhard back into the offensive zone, curls to the left side. Nice shot, but a better stop by Suggs, and Hildreth again will bounce this off the partition down the ice. Hall is the first one back here for the Bears. Meanwhile, that penalty went to number 5, Matthew Despirit, the defenseman for Cortland. It was for tripping. As we just mentioned a few moments ago, the Bears right now 0 for 2 on the power play. Slap shot, Dahlhard fans on that one as he was coming in uncontested. That would have been huge.
Good Lord.
Another shot towards the net, knocked down with the glove by Suggs. Did not get it fully. There's another chance. He knocks it away. It came out in front of the net. No third attempt as it is batted down the ice by Cortland. 39 seconds remaining in the tripping.
Well, I think they hurt us, partner, because they've gotten a lot of shots, and there's been rebounds. That redirect goes off the pipe there with 28 seconds to go in the power play. But again, a fair amount of shots towards the goal and at the goal have allowed the Bears to get some decent goal-scoring opportunities here, forcing the goalie to make some saves and give up the rebounds.
Puck comes out to center ice. Dobbs fans it across. Campbell will flip it in and go off for a change as getting out of jail free is Despirit. 0 for 3 are the Bears as McCabe just got body slammed down to the ground by, that was Mineta.
Nice look there. Good play by Eli Dugart-Wood on the stick check to move it off the rushing Cortland forward.
Dahlhard kicks that back up to the front of his stick, off his skate. He will put it down in the defensive territory of the Red Dragons. That one was stolen briefly by Salas. However, he had nobody down in the vicinity of the net area. Kilmurray has to curl back out here into the neutral zone and even into his own defensive zone here. What are they doing? His sight steals it away, and he will, I thought he got it in the net. He missed. It was wide open. Perno tried the splits.
Well, bad turnover there by the Bears on a drop pass in the defensive zone. Miscommunication, as you will often say, allowed that opportunity there for Cortland to, I don't know how that didn't go in.
I don't know either. I thought I saw it go in. However, maybe I just saw Perno's skate, the toe of it. Here's a wraparound. It's there, and somehow Suggs keeps it under the pad and the skate as Malmeister thought he had tucked it in.
There were two good opportunities there Suggs had to make saves at. The last was Malmeister as Suggs was doing the splits to cover both pipes. I think his legs can reach both sides as he had to make those saves.
12 minutes and 18 seconds left in regulation play. It's still a 3-1 lead for Cortland. Hildreth is going to track this one down. Siri trying to put him into the corner, and he does. However, Humphrey, the supporting cast member, comes in and picks that up. But now here's the breakout by the Bears. Cannell was looking to put it back into the middle lane for Perron. It went off a skate and is thrown back down here into the offensive zone by the Red Dragons. That's taken away. Ooh, that pass could have been dangerous. Boak keeps it alive for his team. His wrist shot went off a skate wide.
Without a stick there, the Bears have got to get out of the zone, and they do. They'll also get a change on defense. Siri has the puck now, and he'll continue on the forecheck.
Tremendous effort by Siri as his team was changing along there. Felix tries to throw it towards the net and missed wide. Krasnoyarov and Felix both down there as that went off the skate of Dobbs. Felix will come back in and pick it up. Looking for the back pass from McCabe. Too far for him. Krasnoyarov has come back into the picture screen, but it's Cortland out of their own zone. Across the blue line, that one on net, and Perno already down in the butterfly makes the save for the faceoff.
He had it, he went down, he dropped it, and he had to end up holding on there. Got a little bit of attention off number 17, Morley Phillips. He's been a factor here this afternoon. The first-year player out of Raleigh, North Carolina, has done a nice job creating opportunities. As we said before, he's a lanky 6'3", and he's going to be a factor in the years to come here for these Red Dragons.
Program definitely having a good season so far. Potsdam, little back and forth here, but in the campaign. However, they still have a chance to find a spot in the SUNYAC playoffs here in the last 2 weeks remaining. However, right now they're down by 2 goals. Cristiano almost deflected that one in front of the net of Perno.
I think the Bears have had a good opportunity here. The game plan being adjusted just a little bit as we had hoped it would be by not being very picky and trying to steer the puck towards the net has created some opportunities low in the zone, just in the slot area. But they've got to get into the offensive zone to have that be a factor for them. And right now, they've been spending a little bit too much time in their defensive end. They've got to win this face-off and get on their horse here with 10:23 to go in the third period.
It will be a rookie on the face-off with Perron, and Perron wins it. Hall now coming back down the other way, left to right. Perron also in there with Hall. Taken away by Rookie. Blind pass. Garnier, that should be an offsides here. Yes, they decide not to blow it and just call it delayed as Grenier and Martin went over the blue line. Loose puck, still loose. Manetta finally able to grab it here in the neutral zone and will rocket that one in around the boards. Now slowing down the pace is Salas, methodically rather here, as Felix and Delhard Wood will crisscross applesauce here in front of the net. Halfway through the third period, and it's still 3-1 Red Dragons. Bad pass there by Felix. It's intercepted in the passing lane. Coming back with it is Merkley. His blind pass, no good as the defense changes up. Here's an opportunity. 3-on-2 back the other way. Kilmurray loses it. Wrist shot towards the net. No good as Felix had it blocked away with the arm of Suggs. SUNY Cortland almost got themselves in trouble there on the defensive change.
And again, a good look coming down that left-hand side. Took the shot, which they need to do. And here's a long shot coming in on the dump-in. Not the worst decision in the world.
Absolutely not.
To get that in on goal and force an offensive zone faceoff here for the Bears with 8:46 to go. Down by 2. Bears will get that Hohen line out there with Malmeister and Watson.
As Hohen will skate into the hashes. One back by the Bears across to Siri. His shot deflected off the stick of Phillips. Brought down here by Watson. He puts it towards the net. Oh, I thought it was going to go in the 5-hole as Hohen got a great piece of it. But Suggs somehow pulls the legs tightly for a save.
Well, that was Watson who had the puck and steered it towards the net. And then it was Hohen that got the stick on it, but a good save by Suggs there. That could have just as easily gone in as not.
Back pass. Presley shoots it way wide of the net. Malmeister was feeding him a gift. Now Malmeister takes a shot, and that one again is knocked aside by Suggs, who really, since that first goal, has, I wouldn't necessarily say a brick wall in the net, but he has avoided any sort of shots since then by the Bears. Watson across for Hohen. Now he advances the puck forward. Malmeister has control of it as he will dump this one back in below the cave of Suggs. Hall off the bench. That almost could have been a too many men call. Seitz looking to keep it going forward. However, he's going to have to backpedal here. Perron goes the other way.
Talk about Suggs being on his game, but let's give credit where credit's due. I think the Cortland defense has been very stalwart in front of him today.
Yes, give him credit. They definitely have blocked a lot of shots, and they've taken away prime real estate necessarily in front of the net of Suggs. I mean, again, the Bears right now have just kind of had to shoot from the sides or even at the top of the blue line. Loose stick there by Campbell. This one is yeehawed up in the air. Cannell decides not to go after it. Shot from center ice on Perno. He gloves it down and then he leaves it for Campbell. 7 minutes remaining in regulation. 2-goal lead here for Cortland. Suggs will play this one behind his own net. And with speed out of the defensive zone, it's going to be Kiristis trying to pass the puck to the right wing side. He has it again. Shot nicely blocked by McCabe, who's going to try to swing away with it. He does. He's knocked down, and it will be an interference call against Cortland.
Yeah, that was a good play, and that's the legs of McCabe as he just kept those things going. He felt the body pressure. Might have sold it just a little bit, but that's okay too. Recognizing the situation here, but 6:30 to go. It's been a long time since we've seen a power play marker here, but no time like right now to break the ice on that one, no pun intended.
Penalty goes against number 22, Nick Sirio, the 6'1 defenseman senior from Bayville, New York, as he again will go sit in the corner and at least wait 2 minutes before he is able to come back out here. Unless, of course, the Bears can finally break the drought. Dahard Wood receives that one, and his shot goes wide. It deflected off a stick. However, now it's Mineta with no stick behind the net. Suggs shoots it out to him and gets back in position, sliding across the crease. Here's a shot through traffic again. It missed wide. That is what the Bears need to do. They need to take the shots. However, they need to make sure they're on net and not being blown wide. That one just barely missed the side, short side by Hohen. Hall being pressured there quickly. Dahard Wood had to give it back to Hohen. Malmeister looking for Hall to deflect that one. Did not get it, and now it's going to be wrapped around the boards. Half wall out of the danger zone by the Red Dragons.
On that initial rush about 30 seconds ago, Eli Dugard Wood coming up on what could have looked like a 2-on-1 almost. I think he just waited too long to take the shot. I think he was looking to make the pass, but nonetheless didn't get the shot on goal. 28 seconds to go in the advantage for the Bears. They've had a pretty good look here in this power play, but just not able to finish it off.
And now they're scrambling like chickens with their heads cut off in their own zone as they try to come back down here for one more rush on the man advantage. Here's a shot, and Suggs is able to absorb that one. I don't even think it hit his glove. I just think it hit that left arm pad, and he scooped it in.
He was right there. Cannell was right on the doorstep looking for a rebound should that have occurred, but it didn't. 4:40 to go here. Offensive zone face-off on the power play with 10 seconds to go. Almost looking whether you thought maybe the goaltender would be coming out.
It is a good question. As that one goes over the shoulder of Suggs, Cannell was trying to come back around the net for it, and he knocks it off the moorings.
Going to bring the face-off out of the zone here with 3 seconds to go. Another power play going by the wayside. Bears not able to capitalize, albeit having some better looks than we've seen in the previous attempts.
Going through that face-off win was Watson, and Suggs isn't going to take any chances. He comes out to pounce on it.
Right about even with the interior hash marks. That's how far out of the face-off, out of the net he was. 4:29 to go. Face-off in the offensive zone to the right of the Cortland goaltender.
So this time it's Peyton Felix, and he will tie up there briefly with his man. Puck thrown down the ice. Sights the first one there, and Cristiano could not control the heater of a pass. McCabe will chip this one past DeSpirit. Felix down in the corner. Kilmurray is also in there as well. DeSpirit takes that away, and that is going to be a high sticking call, as DeSpirit took it right in the chin.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. 4:02. Kilmurray's going to be going off for that high sticking call. Bears are going to have to kill off yet another one here to keep this within striking distance, even though time is not their friend right now with 4 minutes to go in the period, down by 2.
Hildreth has that one kicked away. Hohen's trying to go. He gets away. He squirts free. He has a chance on the delay penalty.
It's going to be an interference call there on Cortland, so we're going to have 4-on-4 hockey for a minute 50 or so, but clearly a good call there. That was an interference call for sure.
Oh, yeah. He held him up for about at least a solid 3 seconds. That puck was already gone by both players.
We got a timeout here. Here's going to be the time when you're going to think about getting that goaltender out, I believe, even though 4 minutes to go is a long time, but no, you're not going to get that. Not now. This is not going to be a power play. It's a 4-on-4 game, even though it's going to be face-off's going to be inside the zone. Yeah, goaltender will not. I was thinking that it might have been a power play, but it's not. Should it be a power play, then you might consider it,
right,
even though with this amount of time. But this is going to be 4-on-4 hockey with 3:52 to go here in the third period.
Coach Grace is going to want to try to chalk up something here for his personnel that he will send out. It's, like you said, 4-on-4, and it's practically going to stay that way. There would only be about 10 seconds remaining on the Watson and Cannell out here with Campbell and Salas as the 4 players for the Bears. Felix will be the face-off man and loses that to Merkley. DeSpirit plows through Cannell and Watson, and we'll go back after this one. The pass, errant pass there, and we're going to have a hooking call this time on Salas.
4-on-3 situation coming up. Certainly right in front of the referee.
At this point, the Bears are really just opening up the wound and putting salt in it, or some rubbing alcohol, because right now they're back down on the power play. 4-on-3 opportunity here for Cortland. Campbell, Dobbs, and Hohen are out for the Bears. Humphrey loses that face-off as Hohen is going to try to foot race it. Cristiano gets back. He'll be pressured quick. Awkward position for Perno to be in there for the stop.
Yeah, a couple of the Cortland Red Dragons looking to the sky there on mishandling some opportunities to get good quality shots on goal. There was a fan on a shot right there by Sirio.
Humphreys and Hall on the right side of the goal mouth of the Bears. Dobbs will shoulder his check. However, the Red Dragons still have it. Humphreys back to Hildreth to the opposite side. It's Garnier leaving it for Hildreth. Stick handling, fakes the head, and he gave it there to Krieger. Humphreys across. Hildreth with a one-timer, but Campbell is able to block it. As the time is going to conclude here for multiple penalties here momentarily. 20 seconds for Kilmurray's, 30 seconds here for Rookie, and it will be an offsides called against the Red Dragons.
Well, not going to be a lot of time here for the Bears to strike for two. They've got to get the goaltender out, and certainly going to look towards a face-off in the offensive zone, of which they're going to get right now, but being down a player, there's not an advantage to getting the goalie out, except for having even things up in an offensive zone situation, but probably not a move I'd make in this particular circumstance.
Sirio gives it back to Cristiano. And he will stick handle down the left wing side. Leaves it for Sirio. Sirio skates in, got it across for Humphrey, who could not control that one, as that first penalty has expired. And now Malmeister switches up with Kilmurray. That puck will be thrown up into the air and will hit the air duct up there and come back down out of play.
Seitz had a look from low in the slot area there. Just couldn't find the back of the net. Minute 51 to go here in the third period. Bears down by 2.
And there's still 15 seconds to kill here in the penalty to Salas. Then at that point, maybe you could think about an extra body out there. However, Legault gets it across, and that's taken away.
He's going to come out now.
It was taken away from Sirio, and yes, Perno's going to make his way as he exits stage right back to the bench. Perron is out there, as well as Watson. 1:30 remaining. That goes off a stick, down the ice. Watson has to get there quickly. He tries to shield it with his skate so that Perron can get away with it, and he does. Now it's going to be Siri curling up the boards. He will survey the landscape, but his pass, not good for Perron. Hall helps out. Delayed offsides, and now Hall and Perron really have to scoot and boogie in for this one. Watson to Perron. He'll get through traffic. Shoots! Score! What a wrist shot by Perron! And it's 3-2!
Well, I'll tell you never say die. This team has shown resilience all year long, not the least of which was last night. But now with the goaltender out and a minute to go, it's Matthew Perron who would get that quick shot away from high in the slot area to beat goaltender Suggs. Terrific shot by Matthew Perron to find the back of the net here with the extra attacker.
Perron will stay out there. Now you have Cannell and Watson, Dahlhard, Wood, and Campbell on defense. We'll wait to see if Perno is able to get back here to the bench for the extra attacker. 43 seconds remaining. Seitz backhands it up to Boak. Right below us in the crow's nest. His shot almost smoked Campbell in the face as Campbell is going to get the back pass from Dahlhard Wood. Up to Cannell. Too far. Boak trying to just body it away, and it will be flipped up in the air. Perno is going to the bench. Now he makes it there. 20 seconds remaining, but SUNY Potsdam does have a 6-on-5 advantage. Campbell has to get it going, though. Time is ticking. 10 seconds remaining. Mason Hohen loses that one. It's picked up here by the Bears. Across. Here's a chance. Shot. Oh, the pass through for Malmeister. Blows by him. And that is going to do it as the Bears come back with at least a valiant effort, but too little too late. They will fall here this afternoon 3-2.
Well, there was a really good look there right at the end as the puck came across from one side to the other, from our left to our right, and it just slid by Malmeister, who was in position to get that one-timer. Might have had a good look had he been able to get a stick on it, but pretty entertaining game here, albeit this afternoon. Pretty well played. Cortland's a good team, but the Bears, they continue to show resilience as they're never really out of these things, and and that's going to be an unfortunate weekend for the Bears here, only gathering 1 point in a very, very tight race for that last playoff spot.
And as we said during the first game last night, I mean, this has pretty much been the story here now going through 3 weeks of play where really they've had 2 ties and then the rest of the games have been losses. We're looking at 5 now here.
Yeah, it's really started to, the momentum has gone in the other direction for the Bears, needing something positive to happen for them to really gas things up going forward here. It's going to be a tough run next week down in Buff State. Both Buff State and Fredonia are playing better on the year right now. The Bears a little bit on a slide, so hopefully they can find themselves next weekend and get some very necessary points here before coming back for the final weekend of the regular season for Bears Pride here towards the end of the month.
I think looking at it right now, I believe it's really not going to do much in terms of the SUNYAC standings. Everybody, I believe, would just be staying in the same place. Cortland would go up to 18 points.
Well, no, Canton's going to jump up.
Oh, yes, Canton would jump up here with Buffalo State. Plattsburgh was leading, so looks like maybe there's going to be just a 3-team swing here in that 4 to 6, 7 area of the rankings.
Yeah, Canton is going to jump ahead of the pack here, up there, maybe even tied with Buff State. But Fredonia and Potsdam are going to remain tied in that last playoff position here so far. So it's going to be, the teams that are ahead of you, you're going to see over the next 2 weekends, and the Bears are going to have to really find their mojo back here. But it's going to be Matthew Perron who would get the only goal of the third period. That came at the 19-minute mark. Owen Watson would pick up that assist. Shots on goal in the third period had the Bears outshooting the Dragons 12-6, and the game would end up 29-27 shots on goal in favor of the Red Dragons. But we will talk about what the Bears ultimately needed to do, and that was put shots towards the goal. It created opportunities. In the first 2 periods, they were, and this is not atypical. They were trying to formulate plays and get, try to set up 2-on-1 opportunities inside the offensive zone, create offensive situations. But the defense of Cortland was really very stiff here this afternoon. So Potsdam had to be a little bit unselfish on what they were trying to accomplish here, and that is take some shots, get them towards the net, look for rebounds, look for something to go off the skate blades, and that's when the things really started to turn around in what I feel was the Bears' favor towards the middle, toward the ends of that third period.
And with that, we are going to call it a day here on our end. But again, we want to thank the wonderful staff and volunteers here at Maxey Hall Arena, as always. And a amazing, huge thank you to all the wonderful listeners and viewers across the sound waves. None of this is possible, of course, without your support. Once again, your final in men's hockey at Maxey Hall, it was the Cortland Red Dragons 3 and the SUNY Potsdam Bears 2. One final time for Todd Truax engineering this broadcast, and for my partner, the former Potsdam Bears coach, John Horn. I'm Taylor Salisbury, wishing you a great and safe weekend from all of us here at PotsdamBears.com and Mix 96.1 FM, a Stevens Communications station.